So how are you guys?
We're great.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we booked our 6th wedding anniversary trip last night.
Oh my gosh.
That is exciting.
So where?
We're gonna go to Vail, right? Yeah.
That is fantastic.
I've never been, so I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited.
Okay. You're not taking the kids probably, right?
No.
Okay, because Vail is so much fun with kids.
This is their anniversary trip.
No, I know. I'm about to be the worst friend ever. But like, I'm saying you can go back. You'll see all the stuff. And that's actually really fun is to go see all the things and be like, and then come back and like, kids, we can't wait to take you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know where to go. Got a plan.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah. Hope
So will you guys ski?
No.
Okay.
Hold on though.
I love to sit by the fireplace.
Same.
A book or something and watch people ski.
Yes. Like a pipe, but not lit. Just have a pipe in your mouth the whole time. Sir, you can't smoke here. There's no tobacco in this pipe. It's merely a reading accessory.
A monocle.
Yeah.
I come down in my robe into the lobby.
No, smoke. Sir, that's a robe. No, it's a smoke. It's my smoking jacket.
I have clothes on underneath. It's just I have it on over.
Yes, like a tie, just inexplicably.
And a mask. This is gonna.
Wait, no, isn't it? Oh, and a mask.
Mask.
But the pipe and the mask would be the difficult combination.
There's a little hole.
Can I just pray that we're not still wearing masks Thanksgiving weekend? Can that just not be a thing?
Yes.
That would be amazing if that were all gone.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you, what is your favorite kind of mask these days? Like, are you guys paper mask people? Are you cloth mask people?
Whatever I can find in my bag.
Yeah.
In your back pocket? Do I have one on me?
This is so bad. I sometimes have to wear her mask because I forget mine all the time.
So he'll wear mine, and then I have to wear one of the kids.
But I open it, it's got like makeup on the inside.
Yeah,
of it.
totally.
You know,
We have to
Lipstick.
the walk of shame to the hostess stand. Can I have a loner mask?
I know.
I just don't go.
A lost and found. You're like, oh my God.
I flew last week, and I wore paper so I could throw them away every little bit because I just was like,
Oh yeah.
No.
Are there some things that you will keep you have gained from this season that you're like, I'm going to keep implementing this? This is actually a good thing.
Wow, that's a good question.
Washing hands and sanitizing.
Well, I mean, I
more?
would hope that that's like a normalized thing. You like, I hate when they're on planes and like, we wash the tray table now. We wash the armrest now. Like, what were you doing before? Why was that not a thing?
Exactly.
They showed a video of them like sanitizing the plane, wiping everything. I'm like, I'm surprised
Why
they
is
were.
this new?
And the HIPAA filters, I'm like, I think this is a great thing that new
Totally.
I think that's always been a thing. They just are telling you now, like very blatantly. But
I would
the
say
wiping down.
the temperature checks at church for kids, I think we're going to keep. And that actually does make sense all year round because you always would not want a kid checked in with a fever. So that kind of takes the guesswork out of it for parents,
True.
We love that at Canyons
We
in
do.
school, and we love that because he's gotten sick every year with some kind of something at school, and we're like, I think maybe he won't get sick at all this year, which would be amazing because they're
I
checking
do like
temperatures.
that. I do like that.
And then we bought that crazy machine that Delta uses on the planes, electrostatic cleaner, whatever that they spray. So we did that for the church. That's kind of cool, like to have that all the time, Some of that stuff, it's like, that should be a part of regular life, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think I might always fly with a mask on too. Because anytime with ministry stuff that I would get sick, it was from a plane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could almost like tell you the person that gave me the flu.
The person, it was
You can see it in their
It was
eyes.
an aisle seat. It was 11C.
I made eye contact.
She does that. She will get mad in a terminal. She'll come over to me and be just mad. I'm like, what's happened? She's like,
That lady
person
is
over there
so
is sick.
Flying sick.
Hacking up a lung.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But those
My
those
goodness.
paper masks, I hadn't really worn them, but I wore them on the plane recently, and I didn't feel like it.
You can breathe out the
feel it.
side better.
Because with all of my other fancy masks, it gives me like behind my ears makes it super sore. But
And then
those
the
paper ones
noise
were
canceling headphones, it's a whole thing. Like the way it sits on your ear with the loop around your thing. I can't wear my Bose headphones. If you wear your AirPods for too long, it hurts your ear canal.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Travel.
The weirdest things. Do you guys use your in-ears on planes usually, or is it mostly your like noise canceling or something?
They're a little too like noise canceling. You know, when it feels a little bit like
I said ginger ale. I said ginger ale. Like it's like an echo chamber.
Yeah, you're like yelling.
No, they just create that pressure in your head. You know what I mean? Like I can't handle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like, even with my AirPods, I usually try to listen to stuff even with like the noise canceling off. Because I think when something's in your ears, I need to get some of the over the ears, like you talked about, the noise canceling ones. I feel like those are better.
Yeah, those are great.
I like the Bose. I had Sony for a while. I feel like the Bose, they just do noise canceling better than anybody. Like having even the Beats by, like those are like kind of obviously cooler looking. Bose looks more like the medical, headphones.
Yeah, they do.
They don't look great, but they work. They figured that crap out.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally was like, man, they don't look cool. And you see the Beats, and you're like, that guy looks cooler than me, but they just don't work as good.
I have a question about masks. Back to these.
We should stay for a little episode on masks.
Mask episode.
It's never been done before.
What not talk about? Just masks for 45.
Oh my gosh. No, 45. We could probably go about an hour and a half. There's a lot of material.
There's a lot of material to cover.
Yes.
No, I have a legitimate question. Have you been talking to someone and they ask you a question and you remove your mask to ask, wait, what did you say? And then you're like, oh, wait, I forgot. I'm not supposed to take this off. I did that to the flight.
Because you're so muffly. You're so muffly of talking to the mask.
It feels natural to be like, oh, you can't hear me, obviously.
Well, no, I was saying it to I couldn't hear them, so I took my mask off.
Oh, I see.
To clarify.
Oh,
to clarify your question.
You thought it would help you listen better?
What was that? Wait.
Makes sense.
That was scary.
Oh,
I was thinking.
And I got really awkward. No, I'm kidding.
No, I tell you what.
Topic on masks.
The thing about the airplane with the mask is like you're allowed to actively eat or drink. Have you guys had a flight attendant like judge how slow you? Like I was taking too long between sips of coffee, and she tapped my elbow and was like, and I was like, I was apparently like too long between sips.
Oh man.
I haven't experienced that yet. Thank God.
It is a whole new thing.
I've never nursed a bag of veggie straws longer. Than 2020.
Yes. You're like, I will find new creative things to eat. I'm rummaging in my bag. The bad one is like when you get food in the air. Have you guys flown through Salt Lake City since they reopened that new terminal yet? Do you fly through Salt Lake City much?
No.
What is your airline? What do you guys normally go on?
We used to fly American all the time. Now with kids and that companion pass, we fly Southwest pretty often. Until little guy until we have to have a fourth seat. Right now we get 3 seats with four of us. It's great. Southwest whole row. Yep. But that fourth seat's going to probably bump us into something else.
And is Nashville a big Southwest hub? Because Dallas, I could see American forever with Dallas. Yeah.
It's getting better. Yeah, Dallas is definitely the best for Southwest, but American is more like Midwest, so it kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're pretty hardcore Delta people, but it just worked out that way because when we first moved here, that was kind of like one of the 3 options that existed. Now Americans come in and United's opened up a bunch of options, but we've just kind of committed, like the loyalty kind of pays off where you just kind of eventually it starts to like compound interest a little bit. But it does when you're nursing those like 2 years lap child, because once you're paying for a new seat for him, which feels so silly. And the funniest thing is when we get like a free upgrade or something and Lennox is 3 years old, like with his little, cowboy boots hanging out, and then people are looking at him like, what the heck is this kid even doing up there? So outrageous. Do you guys have the cage thing? Didn't Carlos, when I was at Belonging for the conference, Carlos was like touting the mask that goes under your mask. Did he give you guys any of those?
What?
I never tell you. It's like a basket. It's like a plastic basket that goes under your mask that pulls the fabric away from your face.
Oh no, but that's genius.
Yeah.
You'll have to ask him. I was giving him a hard time. I was calling it it looked like a cup for your face. And then you put the mask over it.
That sounds about like what it is.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh,
But
it keeps the fabric off your mouth and you can actually talk.
Oh, that is amazing.
That's genius.
Smart. He's like Amazon, about 10 of them.
I know it's a sin to sneeze now in 2020, but when you
to sneeze.
when you have
Sin
to
to sneeze.
sneeze,
Sin to sneeze.
when you have to sneeze, what do you do?
I don't think sneezing is a symptom.
Sneezing's not the bad. It's coughing that you feel like everyone looks at you. I feel like every time I cough, I need to look around like, no, it's not. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. Just swallowed some water badly.
Yeah, totally.
But to
It
be
is funny. You don't hear a lot of people anymore.
what would be funny would be to be like in a group, people like, can you taste this? I can't taste anything. There's no taste of this at all.
Sneak back all your food. I can't taste
This. I don't taste anything. Just like in a cafeteria setting or something like that.
Cafeteria
Like,
setting.
yeah, I don't know. That's the weird one. That symptom. You're like, what is happening in the human body that takes away the sense of taste and smell with this virus? I get lethargy. I get, tired or whatever. Is that nerves? Like, what is that?
Doesn't a loss of zinc do that? And isn't that what it is? You lose zinc, you lose like taste somehow.
So do you think it messes with, you think it's like depleting your zinc stores?
That's what I heard that's the reason. Because I guess the virus depletes zinc, which was why you're supposed to take it. But if you deplete zinc, then you lose your taste and your smell for some reason.
So have you guys boosted your zinc intake?
Yeah.
Zinc take? You take it orally?
Yeah.
You take it orally? You do IV?
Just these little like tablets.
Like lozenges, kind of.
Lozenges. Now, do you guys take a daily vitamin?
Yes, most of the days. But yes,
like multi? What do you guys do?
I forgot today.
I really want to get in on
Not
this. I want to
today.
figure this
I know.
out.
I didn't take my vitamins today either. I didn't work out today.
Okay, well, we don't have to like, it's not like a tell-all.
Mine last night. I have to
Fish
take mine
oil.
at night because they make me like nauseated.
Oh.
Fish oil is a good one.
L-carnitine.
Yeah.
Little metabolism boost.
So do you go through like a bottle and like grab all your different ones, or do you get them in packets, like pre-dispersed?
Yeah, I just have individual bottles that
You have to like sit there at the counter, opening them all up.
Like a mad scientist.
It's a little therapeutic, you just.
Well, sometimes you do your little vitamin.
Oh yeah,
case.
they're always
Oh,
breaks
that's
in
good.
travel.
Here's my Monday pills. Here's my Tuesday pills in your Spider-Man lunchbox.
Like an old man.
Yeah. No, there's no shame in that.
You're so.
Well, okay, so we're big on vitamins. We got into that, and we're not sponsored by them or anything, so it's not a plug, but that Care Of, where they mail you a packet, you rip it, and it's like that day's vitamins. You pour them out.
It's curated to you. So you go into the website and you plug in like,
Your
I have a hard
age,
time with like sleeping or
recovery,
whatever, or exercise recovery.
Or there's heart disease in my family.
And then they do a recommendation, like based on what you said about yourself, like this is what we would recommend for you. And you can kind of pick and choose, but it's so nice because you just open the packet and they're just there and you know that it's taking care of what you need.
Even I think this cool is like just to like get in the mix with, and you always could go to GNC or whatever and buy the bottles and make your own, but just to like see what they're recommending. If you have liver problems in your family, it's going to be more milk thistle or this or that or the other. And then the convenience of it. And every packet has like an inspiring quote on it or like a random fact or something like that. So it's kind of fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
We should. I think we'll get sponsored now.
We're gonna get
Yeah,
spot-
I think so.
Easily. And then the other one I take every day is called Alpha Brain. And it's one that supposedly helps with cognition, like for memory and focus.
Nice.
I
You feel
don't-
like it helped?
I think so. I think it makes you a little quicker.
I think we would really know if I started taking it because I'm very slow and I feel like we would know. We should do that experiment one time.
Anyhow, it's cool. And the other thing is cool about it is that it supposedly helps you with short-term memory and things you're learning. So yeah, I would even wonder how you guys would find it for like song lyrics, like new songs you're doing that you've just written. If it just kind of makes you more like think on your toes quicker.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to try it. There's been two family members in my family that have dealt with Alzheimer's. And so that's always something that I want to lean into now to make sure I'm healthy, for my brain and like protecting my body against that disease,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's real. Not that we're talking about fears, but that's like, you just don't want, I want to be as healthy as I can be for my babies growing old. So.
Totally.
Yeah, dementia is super scary. All that stuff,
Yeah.
just for how hard it is for those, having to be around that and,
Well, and learning like what you're doing, learning what it would take now, like to help now that we're younger, and the things we can do now that could help us as we get older.
And even just like journaling and the things that you're doing in recording your life, that's going to be a blessing to your family, when you're not able to remember all those stories. Like I was so grateful, like my grandma like wrote down some, but not nearly enough. Like, cause what do they say? Every time an old person dies, it's like a library is burned to the ground because everything in their head's gone, that hasn't been kind of preserved.
Wow.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah.
We was just gone there.
Right.
The pads need to start subtly coming in.
Let's pray.
Ben, could you come pray?
Ben, come out of the green room. Put down those muffins. Get out here. Oh man, the worst is like you're out on the road and like the keyboard players, you're like giving them a cue. You're talking about like what you want. And they're like, got it. And they're real subtle, just not a lot of busy playing, just some pads. And then you're out there, gong. Or really busy, just some crazy runs. You're like, not so much that.
Too much.
I'll take it from here. Just the loudest plug-in, kicking over guitars.
Quenches the Holy Spirit.
Or the wrong plug-in. They come in on it's just like horns.
Yeah.
The saxophones.
Just it's the most aggressive synth ever.
Oh,
man.
Worship fails.
Worship bells is the best.
Oh.
What are some of your most memorable embarrassments on stage?
Oh, you should tell yours, babe.
Oh man.
Speaking of taking medication.
Yeah, speaking of medicine and things, we were on tour a few years ago, and I had like some sort of weird sinus situation going on, and
pre-COVID, of course.
Of course, I was fine, and so I took some Mucinex, and I did need a lot of food, this bad mixture, and so I was real loopy, like not really all there, and
Wait, wasn't it in Montana?
No, it was in Massachusetts.
They both start with an M though. In your defense.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm super loopy. I finished first song and I'm just doing, a charge. I'm like kind of welcoming, come on, let's worship, and then I meant to say, I believe the atmosphere over a city shifts whenever we lift up the name of Jesus together, and got my letters mixed up.
Gotcha.
The atmosphere over this, and you can put two and two together.
Shifts
oh my gosh.
Yeah, those two words are just not.
This is not good.
Not good when your brain isn't working. So. Full on. I have a voice memo of the recording.
Oh my gosh.
The whole room erupted in laughter.
Yeah, thank God they all laughed. It was amazing.
Funny.
Oh
but,
my gosh.
We just started the next song and I couldn't even sing it because I was laughing so hard.
That's awesome.
Man, that's epic. That's epic.
Great.
You're just in this moment, you're just like, there's no recovering from this. We're just going to move right along.
We're just going to go on. Just sing.
Just leave that there as though that hadn't happened.
Oh my gosh.
How about you,
great.
Kari?
I've also fallen over while leading worship. I have kind of bad balance.
Like just to the side or like out the front of the mosh pit?
Just pull on to the side. Just falling over.
Just inexplicably?
Yeah, just out of nowhere. I had to kind of push myself back up.
That is hilarious. We were at dinner with some friends and that happened to me. I've always kind of like after leg day, the next day, like my legs just get so rubbery. And we were playing a board game and I just stood up and then just fell over. And there was no reason. I didn't trip over anything. My legs just gave out and it was just like, well, and then just.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I relate, but it wasn't in front of 5,000 people. So I mean, that makes it worse.
Kari's sense of humor. People falling.
Oh, it's really. I follow like Instagram poop slams and like
She
things
follows accounts where people just
where
fall.
people just fall.
Oh, those are
Levi
great
does
accounts. Kook
Levi
slams,
loves
Jerry of the day. Yeah. Do you follow awesome people doing awesome things?
No, I need to follow that.
That one's cool. It's just epic achievement. Just the most like epic, squirrel suit craziness, just wildness. But the awesome people doing awesome things. And then, but Kook Slams is a lot like Jerry of the Day, but Jerry of the Day is specifically surfing.
How do you spell Jerry of the Day? Just
Jerry. Because a Jerry is like someone who's out doing something ridiculous.
Didn't you
surfing.
show me Nature is Metal?
I did.
Yeah,
and I would do it, and I would do it again, but it got shut down.
Oh, it did?
It got shut down.
Oh,
Yeah,
Why?
is it graphic or
You
what?
need to follow Worship Fails too.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
It's great.
What? Why did he get shut down?
Well, they were always getting censored. Like graphic,
yeah.
you have to push a button, and I think eventually they just, PETA's a powerful foe. You mess with PETA, man. I have a friend who is preaching.
People and animals. This is animals.
An animal.
Yeah, but you know how that like that world
Natural.
is. I had a friend who was preaching and like did a clip about, he was giving a story about like a snake that, only good snake's a dead snake. And the next, which I think, all of us thinking people would feel like, yeah, I've thought that, like, and I think the next week he came across like a snake hole. He was on his jog or something and felt like he was threatened. So I think he killed the snake with a stick. He posted a picture of the snake and somehow ended up on the radar of some very rabid people, and they like gang trolled him.
Ooh.
Like every post that he would do for months was like hundreds upon hundreds of abuse to snake comments.
Oh man.
Because there's like a dark underbelly.
Jeez.
Yeah, so you just got to be careful with that stuff. Like
Wild. Never heard of that.
I held a snapping turtle once. You guys are Texas people. You know the power of a snapping turtle. Those things will bite your finger off.
Oh, the thing looked like a dinosaur.
Holding it. It looked like Bowser from Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I set it down, I guess, a little
But
too
meaner
vigorously.
and a little more demonic.
And I got hundreds of comments, like pretty angry comments about like abusing the turtle. So you just, I can only imagine an entire account dedicated to like bleeding and wounded and vicious animals,
Yeah.
because that was a pretty intense account.
Yeah, it was intense. I never knew that the PETA trolls existed though. As if we don't have enough issues.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I feel like that was like the precursor to it all. Now it's like, it's everywhere,
Yeah.
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 Jeez.
But Dave Chappelle's not scared. That man's not afraid of anything. He's like, I'm just going to talk about everything you can't talk about right now.
Yep.
I dare you to cancel me. Because you can't cancel Dave Chappelle.
No, he's legend.
No one, he's untouchable.
Yep.
Man.
You might grab him.
Oh, Kingston is saying
He saw
data.
us and now he's sad.
Oh.
Oh my
Forgot
gosh.
the door.
How old is Kingston now?
A year and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right at that last 6 month mark.
Come here.
Oh, come
Oh,
on
man.
in.
It's the Hey It's Lusko's debut of Kingston.
Oh my gosh.
Man, what a little cutie.
Oh my goodness.
If you're listening to the audio podcast and not watching this, you are not seeing
my
a little legend.
Goodness. Hi,
For those of you on the
Kingston.
YouTube, though, you're like, man,
Hi.
I don't think he can hear us because they have the ears in.
Oh, true. But maybe he'll see my smiling face.
He's so
Oh my
sweet.
gosh.
Oh, what a sweetie.
Does he love those podcasts, those little passies with the stuffed animals?
Yes.
Yes.
Lennox absolutely loved that.
Oh my God.
They didn't have those for our first couple kids, though. The baby stuff just gets better and better.
Oh man. It's so
It
It
true.
really does.
Yes.
Yeah. And the moment you get something, it's already out of date. Like, a new thing comes out every week.
Oh.
It's like, give me that microphone.
Lick the
We
mic.
also have that car seat you told us about.
Waybe
Backpack thing.
Yep.
Waybe Pico. That's the
Yep.
end all, save all. Someone wrote me today on Instagram, randomly I saw in the DMs, it was like, a year ago, you posted about a car seat. I've got a trip coming up. What car seat was that, man? Can save me out, save my life here. I was like, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's
It's a
awesome.
great car seat.
It is.
We have a stroller that folds up and can go in the overhead bin.
Is it the
too.
yo-yo?
Yeah.
Yes. The yo-yo.
Those two things are a
Have
traveling
changed our
family's,
lives.
like, I don't know how you
Dream.
would live without them.
No, for sure. 'cause
Somehow
you
we
don't
did.
have a
But
big,
not well.
bulky.
We don't be waiting for the
Yeah.
gate check. So again, not sponsored.
by
Just-
any of
just
these things,
reality.
although you should be.
But would love to be.
Well, actually, those companies, they were super cool. I reached out to them and said, hey, I want to give some away because I've talked about these before. And so they gave us some just to give away, which was really
that's
cool,
awesome.
to let some, we've said, hey, if there's a family, whatever. And so both Waybe and Yo-Yo Zen gave us some strollers and car seats to send out. And we did some giveaways with them, which is real fun.
That's really fun.
That's
I love
smart.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Just companies that are to me, it's like, if you're making something that's going to make life better, like people should be inventing that and getting around that and supporting that.
Yes.
Because, flying is a unique thing, like where everyone's at the mercy of the airplane and the schedule. And then to be standing there in the maybe frigid Minneapolis airport with 20 below wind standing there while you're waiting for the stroller to get brought up from the underbelly of the plane.
Ooh.
We forgot our stroller last flight. And some long airports where Lennox is carrying his little backpack, but wanting us to carry him. So then you're carrying him and a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
How old is Canyon?
I've gone to Target or Walmart quite a few times to get those little bitty umbrella strollers.
Oh,
20
yes.
bucks. I will
Use
not.
it for a couple of days. And then
But
You leave it.
The good thing is how good those are for your back as you're leaning over.
Yeah, you're like,
I know. My
Gosh. Now, how old is Canyon?
He's 4.5.
Oh,
That's a good little
so
spread.
yeah, that's the perfect age for the Waybe.
Oh, he'll be perfect. Has he been in it yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
We use it.
We use it.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And how is he as a big brother? Does he just love it?
Yeah, he loves it.
He's really sweet.
He loves to wrestle him.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingston. Even though Kingston's small, Kingston just like takes it and laughs. It's amazing. There's times I'm like, oh man, you really socked him in the face, and Kingston's just laughing.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
So is he got more of a bruiser personality, the younger one?
He's just more aggressive. Yeah, we do have to help him. It's so hard as a parent, right? Just like you want them to be fun and adventurous and boys, but you're like, okay, just make sure you don't knock him out or
Seriously.
make sure he can breathe. Then you push him.
It's that line, but you also don't want to be like helicopter parent where you let them be brothers and be boys too. So it's
Right.
Yes.
finding that line of, okay, how do we like let you have your space, but also make sure you're not like hurting each other.
Yeah. Do you guys have siblings?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we do.
I have a brother, little brother.
I have a little sister and a little brother.
Okay.
Little. They're all in their 30s.
Yeah. Younger.
Yeah, younger.
Yeah. So you, Cody had brothers. So that like punching around and wrestling.
And they're
all
from
that stuff.
Texas. You guys, so that's sort of part and parcel of being a Texan, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. We just grew up watching wrestling. That was a thing when I was a kid. It was so popular. So we always were wrestling and doing.
My thing was
hurting each
always
other.
getting in arguments with my sister on who got to wear what. Like I always wanted to borrow her clothes, and she wouldn't really let me. Now she'll let me borrow anything, but
Yes, my sister, when I was younger, had like all the cool, like back then it was No Fear and Big Dog and Massimo and Stussy. And like I would steal like those shirts because the cool size would like, it was oversized t-shirts. But and I was like, she has the great shirts. So I'm like always like trying to like steal her No Fear shirt. The hypercolor one. And I'm like, no, that's dating us here a little bit.
Oh, she had very cool clothes.
She did, right? I mean, that was the thing. Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same kind of thing now, like oversized shirts.
Yeah, you could easily wear a No Fear shirt now and be super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And maybe we should. Let's bring it all back.
We should bring it back.
Now, did that solo trip to Arizona happen yet, Kari?
It did last week.
So you had a week in Arizona. Cody had the kids. How'd that go, Cody?
It was great. I was with my mom. So
Okay.
that was helpful.
That is helpful.
You had some backup.
Yeah, I
you
wouldn't do it alone. That's for sure.
Isn't it funny how like a mom would never think to do that, but the husband's like, okay, I'm going to need help. And 5 people. How am I going to get through this? It's like, oh, you mean just my everyday life?
we get help when we need it.
Yeah, if I would have stayed home with the boys, I would have gotten help,
Yeah.
Yeah.
here and there, not the whole time maybe, but
Yeah, me either. I got the help the whole time.
Was there some epic moments? Some fun?
Yeah, we went to my family lives in like middle of nowhere, West Texas, where I grew up. So we went out in the farm and rode tractors, and my best friend still lives there and is a farmer. So we went to his place. And what else did we do? We went
Every time I talked to you guys, you were getting Chick-fil-A and going to the park.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We got Chick-fil-A every day
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
and just hung out.
Yeah.
It was great.
Now, how old will your
That's
boys have to
great.
be before you get them BB guns and bow and arrows? Are you going to get them into all that craziness?
Well, probably will. I haven't thought about that.
Maybe not while mom's gone, though. That would make me so nervous.
Probably the only time we could do it if my mom was gone.
Did you have, how old were you when you got your first 22?
I'm so nervous.
Cody?
Oh,
I was probably 8, 10, somewhere around there.
So how old for your first BB gun?
Well, okay, so I was probably 8 or 10 when I shot a 22 for the first time.
What's a 22?
I didn't get a 22. when I was
It's
8.
it's a pretty
No,
chill
no,
little
no.
rifle. Yeah.
Yeah. BB gun. I got one when I was 10, probably something like that.
Your Red Rider
Yeah, it was
Daisy
something like
BB
that.
gun.
Me and my best friend used to sit on our trampoline or his trampoline in his backyard and just shoot birds out of off the power lines.
Peter's coming.
Peter's coming.
Uh-oh.
This podcast.
I can hear him. I can hear him now.
That's the damning evidence, Cody. You just gave your audio confession. I can hear this clip being
Fine.
played at the murder trial for the sparrow,
Oh my God.
the robin. Remember the sparrows? The Lord sees them fall, and He knows that Cody killed them.
Oh man.
But see, that's so good for you, though, to be a little boy shooting a BB gun and shooting a bow and arrow. And I couldn't wait to get that stuff for my daughters. You get them all the quivers of bow and arrows. And, then obviously back then when Livy was a little kid, she turned 15. She turned 15 today, by the way. How crazy is that?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
To have a
It's
15-year-old.
wild.
Because we remember so distinctly being 15. And
Yeah.
to think oh my gosh,
I
because
know.
you're going, I'm
Did
halfway
you
to
bring
30.
her to Belonging Conference?
She was there and she went to the whole thing and loved it.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
So
Did she
special.
know kids there, or did she meet them when she got there?
She
knew the Whitakers
and the Seeley kids.
and the Seeleys.
Oh.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the PK vacay thing. And then she knew the Whitakers because they had just been out here. And those girls are so special.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And Losiah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, they're just so sweet. Yeah.
But getting Legolas, Lord of the Rings was so big back then. So Livy was like, oh man, Legolas is the stuff, you know? Big crush on Orlando Bloom. I think all girls of that era probably went through that. So shooting bows and arrows, and it's just so good for your kids to be outside. Because we recently came across this statistic that right now in America, only 5% of your average American lifetime is spent outdoors. 95% is spent indoors.
Wow.
Wow.
Hashtag quarantine.
Well, but just as much as you can. Like the average child in America spends less time outdoors than a prison inmate does, because a prison inmate gets 1 hour outside every day and they're enforced to do it. But the average child does not even get a full hour outdoors every day of playing. So just like finding ways to just be outside more, how good it is just to get dirt under your fingernails.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's good.
It's like, go outside.
We live in a neighborhood right now where all our houses are really close together, and we're trying to get out in the country just for that reason. As the boys get older,
Yeah.
we're seeing the need for that space. Get a few acres,
I want them to be able to
Let them
ride
go and
four-wheelers
just-
and
Totally.
get little animals and stuff,
Mhm.
So what does a family day look like now? When you guys are taking a day, do you go, like if you are going to be outside, do you guys go out to a river? Or?
We'll just go to a park or something. Usually we'll do
Yeah,
something.
they have a lot of stuff here in Nashville for that.
We usually will go outside. That's
We
mainly
need to
what we'll do.
redeem. We need to redeem Radnor Lake at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
We got
we'll
it.
take them outside for sure.
You've taken your little guy fishing yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I need to do that.
You
Today.
absolutely find a stocked pond. So if you want the first experience to be a positive one. You don't want it to be fishing. You want it to be catching a fish. So find a stocked pond, someone who puts fish in every year, get him out there with a little rod. So Lennox caught a big rainbow trout on his Spider-Man fishing pole, first cast. It was a
Amazing.
And
pond
he's
where
3,
they put,
so
oh my gosh.
if he can do it anyway.
Thing was as tall as him. But this last week we went fishing and it was a disaster. He set the Spider-Man pole down on the ground and walked away. And he got a big fish on. And I'm just standing there and I look over and I see his Spider-Man fishing pole just going across the ground and into the water. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this fish is going to have a pole. He's dragging around with it for the rest of his life.
Yes.
And so I dive into the water. It was a cold day. and I managed somehow to catch it just as it went out of hand. And I'm now soaking wet, but I caught the pole.
In his new shoes.
Yeah, I was wearing new shoes. It was terrible. It was a
You
disaster.
just redeemed this whole podcast for our PETA trolls.
Yeah, you did.
Got the hook out.
Saved to the fish.
Yeah. Go on.
You
Look
went
at
for
that.
the one fish.
Hey,
One
that's a
fish. Yeah, I went for the one.
Yeah.
I went for the one. But then someone told me, I told someone a story. I was like, I couldn't have that hook in that fish's mouth forever. And he goes, oh, there's so much acid in a fish's mouth, it would dissolve the hook and the line and be fine.
Oh.
Seems like a made up story.
Really?
You're like, great.
So much acid in a fish's mouth.
It's the heart that counts.
New shoes.
It's the heart that counts. I know.
Totally.
Like they were so full of water. Like there were boots. I untied them, and like it's like the comics. It was like a cartoon where like so much water came out of each of them. Like a fish comes out. Yeah, exactly.
So dedicated to save that fish's life.
And my son's fishing pole.
And it would have been a frustrating trip the rest of the day.
I learned how to fly fish a couple years ago, and close to your neck of the woods. Up in Wyoming, like outside of Jackson Hole.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and it was like one of the best days I've ever had. Just
like on the Snake River.
Yeah, Snake River.
Bro.
It was amazing.
Did you love it?
I loved it. Yeah. We fished the whole day. I think I caught like 10 trout, rainbow trout.
Wow.
That's a really good day
fun.
fishing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the guide said. We had a good day.
My fishing stories go like this. I would always catch the things behind me. Things in the water.
Or catching a tree branch.
Yes,
Yeah, the things behind her.
Or a person.
Or the
Were you fly
grass.
fishing in a boat, Cody?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, yeah. Fly fishing from the shore is so hard because you are always snagging the trees behind you.
Oh, I did fly fishing quite a few years ago as well. Not with you. I should go with you, babe.
You guys should come to Montana. Come to
Seventh
Montana.
wedding anniversary
Come to
next
Montana
year.
and do it with us.
Here we go. Yeah,
It'd be
we'll go do it.
amazing.
with them.
Seriously.
I caught Jennie last time we went.
He caught my
Are
hand.
you talking about your outfit?
Well, yeah, I had to wear
waders.
those waders.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's ways to spend money on any hobby. It's like, oh no, fishing's free. It's like, no, you're going to spend money on it. Oh no, I'm just golf. Oh yeah, you're going to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Oh, snowboarding's free once you get your board, and you're going to spend $1 million on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said you caught Jennie?
I caught Jennie.
Yeah. So he caught my hand
Yeah.
last time.
Is that how y'all met?
Yeah, exactly. Hey
Pretty
girl,
much.
you come to this river often.
Looks like I caught you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you guys met leading worship at Gateway Church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When was that? That was because that record was 2014 was the one that you guys were on together. But were you guys married at that point?
No.
Not when we recorded it, but a year to the day later is when we got married from recording the album.
Yeah.
So it was the same year that it came out. We got married, but
We
later.
met in like 2009
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
Wow.
He traveled with me for a few years.
As a part of
we
the
were just
band.
good- Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in the band. And I actually had a different boyfriend. And
Mm-hmm.
and he dated another girl. So we were just good friends. And God just began to shift everything around and honestly just change our eyes for each other because, we just were good friends. We didn't think we're 8 years apart. So
Yeah.
we just didn't think that was in the cards for us.
Hmm.
But I love that because God set us up to be good friends. And that's what we really needed,
Yeah.
to fall in love. So
That's a great story.
That's beautiful.
And who's 8 years older? Who's 8 years younger?
Cody's younger.
Cody's younger. Yeah, it's so funny. We were talking to Olivia about that. It's like we'd made a joke about some boy, and she's like, hey, "Oh, Daddy's 4 years older than me." I'm like, "Do you realize how much of a non-issue that is when you're past 20?
Yeah.
4 years,
Yeah. Totally.
But it seems so much when you're in high school. It's like, oh, he's a
But 15
sophomore.
to 19 is a massive.
Which
leap.
is
the
true.
time we
Wow,
see
happens
it,
there.
the time we see it visually is my senior picture and his 5th grade picture. That's really awkward. And then the other time we notice it are movies and music. I'll be like, "Oh, did you ever see Pride and Prejudice?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I was in elementary school." And I'm like, "Cool,
Watched
cool."
it
I
in
was
junior
in.
high theater class.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, I was in college." Yeah, that's cool.
So funny.
When I took her, I think the first time you came to my mom's house, I'm pretty sure it was right after we were married. It was the first time we went to West Texas, like to where I grew up. And she saw that picture of me, 5th grade. I'm in overalls. I'm like leaning on this like mailbox, like photo prop, and this big old grin, and like full on just like part down the middle hair,
like what's his name? Alfalfa.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
my
it says class of 99,
Like,
and she's like, class of 99. I have senior pictures. Class of 99.
in my cap and gown.
And we just got married. And I was like, well, it's too late now.
Too late now. Oh my gosh. I love that.
So you graduated 99 from high school?
Uh-huh.
And what year did you graduate, Cody?
2007.
Okay, so we're both 2000. So, okay, yeah. So that is very funny. So obviously, the disconnect shows up in like when you saw certain movies and that sort of stuff.
Yes. So
those years of school are really when it gets separated out.
Yeah, times we feel it the most.
Otherwise, I feel like we're the same age. Except that sometimes I'll be reading my phone. I'll be like, look at this, and
I'm like, I cannot.
She has to back up. We call it age gap.
Oh my gosh.
Gap.
I'm like out here.
You're not at the iPhone font size though yet. Though, like your parents are with like font 72.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We got some time.
a word per like screen,
Yeah.
You can see everything. Like when you're sitting next to someone with that, you can see everything.
Or like whenever you're with someone older at a restaurant and they turn their flashlight on to look at the menu, like they start flashlighting the menu up. It's so good. But we're all headed there. It's coming for us all.
It's coming for us all.
Do you guys have good vision? Like naturally? Do you have to wear glasses?
Yeah, we do have good vision. I don't wear glasses yet.
Neither of us do.
Both of us are blind like bats. And 4 of our 5 kids have glasses. 3 of our 5.
3 of our 5.
All Livy, Daisy, Clover.
Livy,
yeah.
Clover.
Anyhow. So
remind me what you said about your my after that.
Oh, the firework?
Yeah.
Okay, this is creepy, Kari. So my vision in my left eye,
which he hit with the firework,
which a mortar round shot into the eyeball, is better today than it was before the accident.
That is so interesting.
What wild. The devil has stolen has been redeemed sevenfold.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. No, but it's so weird. Like my last trip to the ophthalmologist, they're like, oh, we're going to have to scale down your contact lens prescription because you're seeing better than you were before.
Oh.
Which is weird. I don't know what to make of it. Because he's like, well, the shape of the eye changed. And the shape of the eye is what changes your vision. And so your eye shape changed for the better.
Wow.
I wouldn't recommend it as like a, here we go. Here goes nothing.
All right. The right eye, Jennie.
But if you are going to do that, do it one eye at a time, not like 2 bottle rockets, 2 Roman candles.
I just can't imagine.
Yeah, it was a weird day, and Jeremy Camp was there. It was all a blur. Like we were just talking.
It was the 4th of July. Happened? The Camps were in town.
You guys friends with the Camps, Jeremy and Adrian?
Yeah.
What beautiful people they are.
They're awesome.
If you have to get injured with somebody, he was very strong as he lifted me to help. He was very his right arm, his muscles,
biceps.
Just picked you up by the back of your jacket,
the scruff of my neck, and just carried.
I'm surprised you didn't catch the firework before it
catch the firework.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's really. I still believe it also.
Well, that's good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Now, how was your guys' friendship through pandemic? Did you guys have ups and downs? Too much of each other? We had to do a little more counseling than normal just to.
Yeah, for real.
I think. Well, I don't know. What would you say?
We did great. I think where we found the most stress was just having little bitty people.
Yes.
That were getting so stir crazy. Yeah. And we love traveling, and it's so the norm for us. And so getting to be out with them and have fun things to do all the time, we felt the weight. I'm not like those amazing Instagram or like Pinterest moms that can just come up with really creative things. Like I have to really study how to do that kind of stuff. So that was the hardest part. But relationally for us, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
like when we put the boys to bed at night for the first few weeks, we just really enjoyed just looking online. That's when The Blessing came out. We were just having like a really sweet time talking about the wild journey of watching what God was doing with that. And then we started leaning in on my project. So it gave us a lot of like spiritual stuff to lean in on.
Yeah, wow.
I think if we hadn't had some things in our hearts that we are still dreaming up and like getting to work on, I think we may have gotten really probably pretty frustrated.
You had an outlet for your energy.
We did. Yeah, we did.
We would have kind of stopped traveling for 6 months to make the album anyway. So it, we kind of just shifted into the album season for that reason, The only thing that really stressed us out, I think, wasn't really relationally. It was more so just the temperature of the world and like the spiritual weight that you feel with that. When you can discern things that's just in the chaos, you can discern the spiritual stuff in it. Man, there was moments where it was like too heavy. If you feel like you have to carry it and it's too heavy,
Cody, that's a really good way to describe it.
Yeah.
So I had a couple moments where I was like full on fetal position, like with worship music on in bed, just what is happening? Like, I can't, what are we going to do kind of thing.
I'm not really a news watcher. I never really have been. And so I would get frustrated, of like, why are you reading that? Like, why are you? And so those were probably the most raw conversations for us, was just like, man, we've got to make sure that the narrative that we're hearing and seeing is that we're doing the same things and that we're getting fed together and not just like letting everything outside control what's happening in the in the core of what's happening in our house. Yeah,
I think the biggest question this year was trying to figure out how much do I need to know to stay in the know, where in the know enough where I know what's happening. I'm not just oblivious.
Well, and even just to know what's legal in your city today. You know what I mean? It's like, is there going to be 12% in the restaurant? Am I sitting in the roof? Like, what's happening today? Right.
There's a certain element where you have to at least know kind of what's going on, but there's a very fine line where that tips into reading, it's so also full of propaganda and fear tactics and stuff too. So you have to really know where that line is of, okay, I get my information, but then otherwise, so that was hard to figure out in the beginning. At least for me, it was hard to figure out that line. I feel like now it's better. But
it's a lot better.
It was
like
intense.
When there was like the daily,
I've never
like the daily briefings were kind of helpful at the beginning. Cause it was kind of like our whole country was kind of you felt like you were in this historic, uncharted, territory. So like figuring that out, that was interesting, but I felt the same thing, like where I shifted into it was becoming toxic to my spirit.
Yeah.
And it was actually changing my eye. Like Jesus said, if your eye's bad, your whole body becomes bad, and it starts to skew. And you really do feel it, like almost that sickness of like, this is not healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You can really, I started really learning, you can just, cause I was asking the Lord, how do I know if what I'm reading, if it's too much and he just kept pointing back to like, look at the fruit. And the days that I felt super hopeless and I felt like, like everything's going downhill, there's no hope, that those moments that I had, that's when I realized, okay, like that's the fruit. The fruit of my life should never be hopelessness when I have Jesus and I have the hope of Jesus,
Yeah.
And so that kind of helped me to gauge, just watch the fruit, watch if anxiety and fear is your kind of consistent. If there's a consistency in your thought pattern there, then you're not focusing on the right thing, and it's really just a matter of focus. Refocus.
That's it.
If I focus on the toxicity of it, refocus to the truth of the Word of God, refocus. And it's amazing. I feel like this year, if there was ever a year to really bring to reality the things that we teach and preach, and obviously we knew that those things were true before, but even more so the tangible nature of there's so much power in the Word of God to shift the atmosphere of your mind, of your home. There's so much power in worship to do that. I experienced personally maybe the deepest kind of stark contrast moments when the power of the Word of God came in to an atmosphere of fear, and just completely, I felt it just completely break off, So I'm thankful for that. Feeling the reality of what we believe in, even more so. It actually strengthened my faith because I felt it more real than maybe ever before,